watch out, better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. That's right. Santa's coming to town, and do you have your Christmas songs ready? I know we don't have a lot of time for it. So welcome to this tutorial on Santa Claus is coming to town, with an emphasis on sing-alongs for your family gatherings. 'Cause Santa Claus is coming to town. Now, if you're familiar with the PianoGroove tutorial for this very song, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, based on Bill Evans' voicings, you know that this simple little tune can be dressed up to the nines. If you were looking for that elegant, beautiful jazz arrangement, you'll find one here on PianoGroove. But that's not the direction we're going to go with this video. Instead, we want to pare down the voicings to their roots. You see, it was created in 1934 by Frederick, Coots, and Gillespie. Back then, harmonic arrangements were not as sophisticated as today. It can sound really folk and maybe even childlike to our modern ears to go back to these roots, but it also makes it so fun to play and much easier to learn. And in my opinion, it's really the best way to go towards a sing-along. Back then, at that time period, that was much more of a tradition for people to gather around the piano and sing together. The accessibility of it makes it great for sing-alongs. Kids and adults alike love this song. So as the pianist, you want to make it as accessible as possible. And if you can get everyone to join in and sing with you, you will be holding everyone together through your harmony and your rhythm. So it's really important to remember when you're leading a group that you stay present and agile so that you can both lead and follow at the same time, because the merriment of the group could go any direction. So we're going to keep the key the same as the other arrangement, which is C. But we're going to simplify the harmony. First time through, let's do the classic pianist configuration of left hand triads and right hand melody. I'm going to stick with root position triads for my chords, even when it calls for something like a 6th or a 7th. You better watch out, better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice, gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sakes. You better watch out, better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Cool, so the way we played it just now, it can work great if you want to stop there and just practice it just like that. We're going to explore the tune further with some different options, but it is very important to have that melody in your hand. Even if you decide that you want to do more two-handed voicings and leave the melody out, having it there on a moment's notice is going to be important, because when you're leading certain young singers or even maybe enthusiastic adults who have visited the holiday eggnog, you just never know when they might need a little bit of melodic support. So you can stay there for a while, but we're going to explore further with more options for this tune. This time we'll play through the song again in the same configuration. We're going to work more on that melody in this hand, but we're going to follow the chart exactly for the left hand this time, adding in those few sevenths and extensions that are listed. All voiced solely with our left hand when possible. And for the most part, I'm going to stick with root positions in my left hand, but there's a couple of spots where it might be easier to do an inversion or rootless, and you're welcome to do that as well. You better watch out, better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice, gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. You better watch out, better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Let's run through it more slowly this time. You better watch out, better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice, gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake, knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. You better watch out, better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Okay, so let's analyze a bit what we're playing here. So we're starting in the 1 of the key of C, and we're going 1, 2 at its dominant. So we're just going from a triad to a C7, and I'm using just triads to shell voicings, which could also be set up to get to the 4. So it becomes the 5 to the 4, and then we go 4 minor 6, which is a gospel-y type of sound. Old school, back to the 1, 1 dominant, 4, 4 minor 6, and then turnaround, which we know well. 1, 6 minor, 2, 5, 1, 6 minor. So here we've got a D minor 7 to a G13. So this is just entirely optional, but since there's a bit of space here in the melody, you can bring in some color if you like. Back to second A, which is exactly the same. And notice how our melody is just staying very squarely, not only in the key, but almost like within our 5 fingers of that triad situation. So that will help us later if we want to change the key. Santa Claus is coming to town. Another turnaround. We're staying on C, and then we're going to C dominant, which is the 1 to the 1 dominant. Now I want to mention that I tried out some different things here, because it seems like a G7 or a 5 would sound better, because we're just going to go right back to that 1 on the bridge, but it really didn't for my ears. So you're welcome to explore there, but I'm going to keep it simple and just stay on the C the whole time, adding a C7 right before I get to it. And we're back to a 1, 4, 1, 4. Now this is the most interesting part of the tune. We're going to step out slightly of the key, and you could think of it as a whole step modulation going from 1 to 4. So it's continuing the 1, 4 pattern, but now it's 1 whole step up from C at D major. And the melody even does it a little bit. So it goes C. He knows if you've been bad or good. Now once again, I kind of experimented with the... For my ears, it didn't sound great, but you're welcome to do that because that is in there. So it goes, knows if you've been bad or good, so be, and now it really makes it more of a D dominant, good for goodness sakes, which sort of makes that back into like a 2-5 turnaround with a 2 dominant. And then we're going to just repeat some more. 1, 1 dominant, 4, 4 minor, 1, what? 4 minor. minor. It's all the same. Turn around is coming to town. And as you saw in the intro in the video, I stayed here. This is something you could do if you need to sort of lead the group or just want to add in some time. This turnaround could be brought in at any time, really. You can stay here and kind of be like, hey guys, that sounded great. I love it. Let's do some more. Let's go. And then you just pause here with a you better watch out, and you're back in it.